Hey guys, this is Janine Jakob, founder of Full Potential Partners, and I'm here live with
Larry Schuster from the Storytelling Company in downtown Shanghai.
Shanghai. We're super excited because Larry and we have never met in person. We've seen each other online so many times, and today we decided, well, Shanghai is slowly coming back to normal. You can see that the streets are getting busier. So we said, hey, let's meet up in person. I mean, we're not forced to stay in quarantine anymore. And see here, this is where the challenge comes in. I said, hey, let's meet at this and this cafe. Well, the cafe was closed, especially at 8:30 a.m. But it's not only this, that cafes and restaurants, in case they have reopened, that they actually open at a later point, because here in Jing'an, in downtown, there's not a lot of people working in the usual offices. But I know, hey, there's this other coffee place. Let's grab a coffee there. But see, this is where the issue comes in. We're now here in this coffee place.
Costa Coffee.
And we were thinking, how can we actually talk normally? Like, are we allowed to take off our masks?
Because there is a sign that says you must wear a mask in public areas. So then, what's public? So we left. We said, well, how can we do this? How can we have a interview each other? Because we're really thinking about collaborating somehow. How can we do this with a mask? I've never done that. And then, so we left. And then we said, wait a minute. Costa Coffee is selling food and drinks. There must be a way to eat. You can't do it with the mask. So we did an experiment. We came back in, and then we bought something. And you see what's happening here. And I have my sandwich, and it doesn't work.
So finally, yes, we are allowed to talk in a normal way, only thanks to eating and drinking.
And we thought, are we protesting? We're not we just want to eat. So,
and enjoy our coffee while
coffee.
talking about the collaboration.
So, and we kept waiting. Are we going to be kicked out? Are we violating something?
People look at us the whole time. They take pictures. It's very scary. They put sanitizer in the whole building here every few minutes and so on.
I was thinking, this is like living in a science fiction movie. Here we are in one of the most modern cities in the world, financial hub of the world, at least of Asia. And here we're walking around like kind of cockroaches. Because as she said earlier, when the world is destroyed, the only living beings alive will be
cockroaches.
Yeah.
Well, the question is,
are we cockroaches? Yes, that's the question. Come on.
It's been 5 weeks since our life here has changed, and we talk about Shanghai. Shanghai is we have more freedom here compared to lots of other cities. Some of you know I used to live in a second-tier city called Suzhou, which is close by. People are not allowed to go outside. Actually, even in my compound in Shanghai, I'm not able to invite people over unless they have a card and can enter the building, even with me, or sometimes you're lucky. But how can we survive? And Larry and we were just talking about, okay, so what was going on in your life? How have you been? The question is, we're all very tough people. We are both businessmen and women, have our own companies. And it's not only us, but everyone here is struggling in a specific way. For some of them, it's financially. Other people, they lost their jobs. Some people, they can't even pay their rent. They don't know what's going to happen. Well, some of us, we have not even been paid for January yet from our clients. So we all have different kind of issues. And then there is the mental thing. Let's say everything's okay, we have our families and friends here because we are foreigners. We don't really have a lot of family and friends here. But there's so many other topics, like mental topics. So the question is, how are you? And barely anyone has the courage to ask each other's, how are you doing, like even mentally? Because we are all humans, and no matter how tough we are, and you know that I also train people on getting a tough mindset, staying positive, and that's important for me. But let's be honest, we all have our challenging times. So yeah, Larry and I were just talking about fear and uncertainty. So tell me a bit about it.
Well, I'd rather not feel fear. I'd rather not live with fear, and I'd rather not live with uncertainty. And everyone would like that kind of a world where everything is smooth and predictable to a certain degree. We'd like,
Especially we Germans, right? We have to plan.
yeah. So the question come up was, like she said, well, how is it? And then I imagined that this is a kind of a game. Now follow me.
A game?
A game. Now
A real game?
On TV.
Chinese love to play.
I'm talking now. On TV, they have these games called The Survivor, and you're put in challenging circumstances. But it's a game you know it's going to end, and you'll be able to go back to your life. But here, this is a never-ending, real thing. So, I was thinking about fear and how I'm going to do with this. There's so much uncertainty, and I would have these moments, sort of explosions of fear. Well, no one really knew I was this way. My mood would come down. Internally, though, I'm a mess. And then I started to think, everything's going to be all right. It's always worked out. So I said, let's have that positive attitude. It would be like you have a choice. Say you're walking through a forest. You can be so nervous because you're not exactly sure where you're going, but you feel it's in the right direction. You could be fearful, or you could say, nature will take care of you, or something will take care of you at least. And then you can be calm and make more rational decisions. So I've been trying to do it that way, and I've been proud of myself that I've been calm and peaceful, more or less, not perfect, until last night I had an explosion. I lost it. But now I'm regaining my composure. But so the question I was asking myself, at what point will I fall apart? So I fell apart a little bit last night. Sorry about that. And
No reason to be sorry.
so what I would do, I was playing with it. That okay, here's fear. Calm down. People are nice. It'll work out. The landlords will work with me. Whoever else will work with me. It'll be that way. It'll be smooth. Don't imagine the worst, because if you imagine the worst, you start
It will
living the
happen.
worst. You're guaranteeing it's going to be bad. So I've been trying this mindset of it'll be okay. But every so often, even me, I lose it, and I'm shaking. Now, talking it through, I think is a great idea with someone else. It's too much time in my apartment. Anyhow,
Yes.
that's my idea for today, and
On how to survive here.
yeah, it's a game. It'll work out. You'll step out of the game. People are coming back, and you'll be so proud of yourself. You survived the virus.
Yes. Well, let me add one more thing. I personally think this is a transformation phase. I have to say, for me, it took 4 weeks till I actually lost myself, how you called it. For me, it's not an explosion. It was just like deep sadness, crying, and hey, it just had to get out there. I've been working a lot on myself, like on my sleep schedule, on me time, on a lot of personal development. We had more time to learn, to take care of other things instead of just like running after our daily business. But yeah, it took me 4 weeks to like that I didn't feel that well. But at the same time, it's a cleaning process right now. You start to rethink about your life in a different way. And as Larry mentioned in the beginning, it's about being cockroaches. Cockroaches will survive everything. And especially like, for example, for entrepreneurs like us, it's about like, this is the time now of differentiation. The people, especially the foreigners who will stay in China, and the people who will fail or rather go back home. And this is not like, we're not judging anyone. It's just about figuring out what is the right way for you, because not everyone can handle uncertainty. I had to start learning it, and to be honest, I don't like it. This is one way where I prefer to be more German, rather in my comfort zone and plan something. All of my plans, my strategy for the next month, and part of my business has been destroyed. So it's now the time of like differentiation. Who can stay? Who can make it happen to come up with new business models? Who can like become a different person and adapt to this new situation, to the new rules of the game? And no one tells you the rules of the game. You have to try to figure it out yourself. But step by step, we're getting there. And to be honest, 2 weeks ago and last week we played after different rules online than we play now that things are getting busier, that people go back to business. So every week we actually have to figure out the new rules of the game, how to survive. On the one hand, it's super interesting and we can be proud of ourselves once we have overcome those challenges. But to be honest, I'm a big fan of the power of community. And this is why I'm also so happy now that Larry and we met up, although we have been not in the best situation ourselves, where we wanted to stay at home, do not communicate with people, and figure out our own lives and how to overcome the challenges. But this is why I also founded Monday Morning Motivation, together with the community, talking with people, and openly honesty also about our own challenges. We can help each other. And sometimes in tough times, we don't see, as we say in Germany, we don't see the light in a tunnel anymore. So you're so stuck in a situation, it needs someone from the outside to have a look at your situation and to come up with an idea. Right?
Yeah. You know what's happened? I've been in touch with someone who runs a local LinkedIn group. Local LinkedIn.
Oh, Julien.
Tamar.
Oh, Tamar.
And she said this is a golden period for LinkedIn. There's more interaction than ever.
Yes.
At least in the Shanghai area, people are posting and commenting on the posts like they've never done before.
And supporting each other in different ways. The power of community, whether it's the local LinkedIn Shanghai community or my Monday Morning Motivation community, which is growing all over China, because it's about supporting each other, still motivating, empowering, and inspiring each other. But most important is being here for each other. No matter what language you speak, what your cultural, religious, whatever background is, we can still find so many synergies, and we need each other.
The weird thing is, do you like traffic?
Nope.
Nope, I don't like traffic either. I like the quiet, peaceful time, clean air. But no, yesterday for the first time, I saw traffic. For the first time in a month, I saw real traffic in Shanghai, in both Pudong and Puxi, and it was, hate to say this, but it was reassuring that life is coming back to Shanghai.
But
I wouldn't want to sit in the traffic, but I was on my bike, by the way, but it was great to see that life is coming back. That means clients, that means somebody finally to rent my
Social
apartment.
life.
Yes. By the way, if you need a big apartment to rent, please contact me soon.
It's a nice one. Yes, but see, here's the thing. Well, you are happy to have the traffic back. I tell you my reaction on Sunday. It was the first time that I was so surprised after more than 4 weeks. There were so many people on the street. So I also took my bike between Jing'an district and the French concession Xiuhui. And there were so many people on the street. And they went grocery shopping. There were lines on the local stores on the street. But I actually was not that happy. Well, on the one hand, it was a sign, things are slowly getting back to normal, but I didn't want to see these people. I really started to enjoy the empty 25 million inhabitant city, Shanghai. And at the same time, I actually started to realize I've become a different person. And I was also forced that Saturday night. I quickly went to a bar restaurant because my friends who I invited over, they were not allowed to come to my apartment. So I was forced to meet them somewhere, and there was this little bar that has reopened, a restaurant. There were not many people, and the atmosphere was not that nice compared to how you were used to have atmospheres or the social life more than 4 weeks ago. So to be honest, I didn't enjoy it that much. And I'm not sure yet if I actually enjoy having all these people back. So I have mixed feelings. It's a bit like a culture shock, because we're not used to this anymore. But at the same time, it's also something positive.
Well, look, we both need people for our businesses. So with no people, so be happy about the people.
Yes, whether it's online and offline. Well, I would say let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up, yeah. So fear, at this time, make it a game. Make it your friend. Maybe it'll work out smoothly.
Yes, and you will get new talents. Use the opportunity of the current time to grow, personally as well as business-wise.
And there's one final tip that I've learned a long time ago, but I don't often follow it, is that if you want to be great, it takes a team. You can't do it alone. And so reaching out for friends can make the difference, even in this challenging moment. So somehow connect and reconnect, and maybe that'll help uplift your spirits like it did for me this morning.
Yes, and making new friends and new collaborators.
Okay.
Guys, have an awesome day. Stay positive, stay strong. We believe in you. You can do this. And have an awesome day. Cheers from Costa
Cheers.
Coffee
Okay,
in
there's my-
Shanghai.
Bye-bye.
Take care.